Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca and I'm here today with the setup of my 2022 bullet journal. And interestingly enough, I keep accidentally saying 2020 instead of 2021 or 2022. So apparently a part of my brain and self is still stuck processing 2020. Who's surprised there? Anyways, I'm going to try and film this without talking with my hands too much. And I know I'm talking with my hands now, but the book is closed. So I have my bullet journal for 2022 here. I did do all the initial setup, and it's in a Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journal edition 2. So it's got the bullet journal thing right there. And I'm just going to dive right in. It's already set up. I want to just tell you about what I did and what I'm excited for. So, for those who don't know, I do have a practice of picking a word of the year and following a card of the year. Here is my title page. My card for the year of 2022, based on the numerology, is the Hanged Man, or the Hanged One. I put the Hanged One because the card I used for my inspiration for this was the Hanged Man from the Starseeker Tarot. I'll insert a picture of it here. So I put the ribbon and the moon inspired from that. I have the year 2022 here, and then my word. You've probably already seen it, but about 4 years ago, I was thinking of my word of the year, and this word popped into my head, and I was like, no. No. And me and my control issues noped right out of there. And then every year since then, it's popped back into my head, and I've gone, no, no, we're not doing this, no. And then right on cue, a couple months ago, it started popping back into my head this year, and my brain went, fuck. Because I knew this year was different. I guess I've grown and changed enough in the last 4 years to be ready for it. So it felt like yeah, we're not going to let you get away with saying no to us this time. So my word of the year is surrender, which partly how it got solidified was by looking at the definitions of the Hanged Man or the Hanged One. Like in the Starseeker Tarot. Oh my god, I opened it right to the page. I just took this out of the box and had it open, and there it fucking is. So there you go. In the Starseeker Tarot, the Hanged One seeks enlightenment through a period of voluntary surrender. It's right there in the first fucking sentence. So I was like, well, fuck. I guess I get no choice this year. Although I am glad to have waited, because I feel like I couldn't have done it with this word before. So that's where I got the ribbon and the moon. And as for the water and the yellow outlines, I also pulled a weaver. I pulled a weaver from my Weaver's Oracle. And I got 17 Horse Ancestor of the Distant Shrines. And all throughout the guidebook, this weaver talks about taking things back to the Amber River. It keeps saying, come to the Amber River. Ignore the oil. This came off my little shelfie bit where my card was. It says, come to the Amber River and bring your sorrow. Come to the Amber River, bring your joy. That kind of thing. And then I realized that one of my favorite depictions of the Hanged One is from the Enchanted Forest Tarot, which is this card. So there's the back. And it's suspension, where the wizard has suspended himself in amber. So I was like, well, I guess amber is my crystal of the year. Air quotes on crystal. Because for those who might not know, amber is not actually a crystal. It is fossilized sap. Anywho, so So I wanted to draw the Amber River through it. And that's why I did it like water, but I added just the gold, kind of with this idea of like when the sun shines on the river, you learn that it's the Amber River. I specifically wrote the word surrender underwater because that added to the surrender vibe. And I have committed myself to keeping this theme going through all my yearly spreads, through all of my notebooks this year, however many I end up. The river will be flowing through them all. And the colors for all my yearly spreads, for all my setups. So if you're watching this from the future and I did not keep up to that, give me crap. Nice crap, but give me crap for it, okay? In the comments below, be like, Becca, what the fuck? You did not do that. So yeah, that's my title page. And this is complete. I'm not planning to add anything to this, and I love how it's so simply done, yet so effective, in my opinion. I have my key, which I never use, and then I have a page for my weaver. So I've got the moon and the ribbon going on again, and I've got the river, and I don't know what else I'm going to do to this page, but it's there. I wanted my weaver to have her own special page, and so it's there for me to work with. And I've dedicated, I am going to have this one weaver for the whole year. And I have an idea of how to reconnect with the weaver when it's starting to feel out of touch, right? We'll see how that all develops. My next page is my index, which I've been doing this way since I started cataloging my books of shadows like this. I have a video of that. It's linked up above in the cards. You can check it out. I like doing this because then it's all in one 2-page spread and I can see every single page. I know what's on every single page. So there's my index. I have my calendex, which doesn't change. It's a calendex, right? But now we start getting into the new witchy shit, because I've added a bunch of new witchy shit, which I'm super excited about. And the first one is my year ahead spread. Now, this isn't new. This is my 3rd year pulling a year ahead spread. However, the layout of it and the way I'm intending to work on it is new. And if you don't know, this is a package I offer. And it's new because I've spent a year working on it. I pulled a year ahead spread last year, and then I had 3 friends / clients who have been testing a year ahead spread package with me for the whole year. And so through that, I've really determined how I like to do the year ahead spread. And the main purpose of the year ahead spread package, or the main concept, is I get fucking bored. If I sit down and I pull 12 cards, by the time which I did the first couple times I did a year ahead spread, by the time I get halfway done, my interpretations are so vague and I don't like it. So I pull my year ahead spread all at once, but I only interpret it before the month starts. And that's what I use for my monthly theme, my tarot cards, for my year ahead spread. So, and I'm not going to give all the details because this is the exact same format I'm using for my year ahead spread package. So if you want more details about that, you can check out my Calendly link down below for it, where you can book it. There's 3 slots left, and you have until December 20th, 2021 to book it for the calendar year of 2022. And so I don't want to go too much into detail, but I've learned, kicked my desk. I've learned that I like to look at the tarot, and I like to connect tarot, I like to look at the astrology through tarot, right? So I'm connecting it to astrology, which is personalized to me because it's for me for this year ahead. and with tarot, and I pull the year ahead spread. So I decided to organize them in the quarters, and specifically to recognize and put the seasons of the quarters. I never really look at the year as like, we're in quarter one. I look at it as like, what season? And so there's a whole theme this year in my journal and in what I'm intending of, I've spent in 2021, I've done a lot of work in peeling back all the layers of bullshittiness in all sorts of ways that have been put upon me that aren't actually true to me. And I've done this so that way, turns out, I did this so that way in 2022, I could get more in touch with my own rhythms. And so that's a lot of the theme and energy I'm working with for the new year coming up, is I want to get in touch with my own natural rhythms and start building my actual foundation. So naturally, I am inclined towards the seasons, so I put them in the seasons. I have the month at the top of the box. I have the glyph for the where the sun is for the majority of that month in the zodiac. I have a number corresponding to my house and my chart and that zodiac sign of the month. I've got, in the handwriting is my cards I pulled. I pulled 6 major arcana. And then I have a space to write an additional card I intend to pull each month at the bottom that again corresponds to my birth chart. And then over here, I don't know for sure what I'm doing over here, if anything. The space is blank because I didn't have anything off the top of my head. However, what I'm thinking is looking at these 3, like looking at each season in the 3s and seeing what I think the theme of that season will be, and then writing it here, kind of a thing. So that's how I'm doing my year ahead spread this year. I'm super, super excited. I have my yearly trackers spread. Now, I've done this one again for years. So there's the Calendex. This is my current bullet journal. This is the information that I've smudged into this yearly trackers. I did do this, and I'll link the video up above where I was talking about this for my cycle, and I do really like seeing it with the moons. However, I'm normally in at least 3 bullet journals in a year, if not 4, and this is a lot of writing out 3 or 4 times a year. Like, I don't want to do it. This feels like too much. So, and what I determined was I also want to compare the moon cycles, not just to my cycle, but to my spouse's pain and stuff, which I track here. So I just combined them all to one, and from left to right, I'll have my cycle tracking, then the moon cycle tracking, then my spouse's headaches and my spouse's pain. And that way it's all just in one fucking shot. And I'm very excited about this. Isn't this one so cool? I love this one so much. This is my Wheel of the Year spread. And it's my first time doing a spread for the Wheel of the Year. I'm fucking tired of not living life the way I want to. I'm so done with it. So this year, I'm going to live the way I want to. And one of the things I want to do is I want to observe all of the holidays in some way. Now, I'm not going super hard on myself. I'm not going to be like kicking myself in the ass if I don't do a ritual every holiday of the Wheel of the Year. But I want to observe them in some way. And part of that is actual observation. And again, going back to that, actually observing my natural cycles within it. So this first year where I'm committing myself to observing the whole Wheel of the Year is actually observing. So I have a box for all the holidays of the Wheel of the Year. And then in the middle, I have all the moons of the year, the new moons and the full moons. And since I had empty space here, I wrote my word of the year. I have the titles on the outside of the moons for the month they're in, the numbers of the days in the moons, and then the glyphs of the zodiac signs the moons are in underneath on the inside. So this page, yes, I will use it partly for reference, and also what I'm planning to do with these empty squares is write down the things I'm naturally inclined towards doing at the holiday times of year. For example, every spring, I collect sticks. And I know that makes me sound really fucking weird, but it's true. Every spring, we'll be walking the dog and I'll be like, oh, that's a nice stick, and I'll bring it home. Oh, look, it's another nice stick, and I'll bring it home. So I collect sticks. There's also a couple times throughout the year where I really get this intense need to like purge my house and clean my house and just get rid of the crap. So that's the kind of thing I'm going to be marking. If on February 1st or around February 1st, I feel this really intense need to spring clean, I'll write down spring cleaning. I'll write down any things I did. The one thing I'm planning to do is I do a tarot reading for each Wheel of the Year holiday. So I would write tarot reading, collected sticks, and just whatever. That way at the end of the year, I have a guide of what I'm naturally inclined towards doing on the holidays, so I can build my holidays off of my natural rhythms and inclinations, as opposed to trying to smudge myself into my idea of what the holidays should be. I'm just going to go with what I naturally do anyways. So there's this spread, and I'm so excited about it, and I think it looks awesome, and I love it. Then we have my year in cards spread, which actually is this whole section. So it's here, 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 here. All of this is tarot card stuff. And part of that observing is I want to, this year, be able to see all the tarot cards I pulled. Now that's might seem like a lot because I pull tarot a lot, but this is my plan. So the first 3 pages are, I have written down, I always do a reading on the new moons and the full moons, the Wheel of the Year holidays, as I just said, and on my moon returns. So I have written down all of those. And did I write down my solar return? Yes, I did. I also have my solar return written down because I wanted to do one for that. I didn't write down any other returns this year, and I don't know if I have any other returns like specific this year. So for this year, we're just starting with moon returns and my solar return. And those are astrological things. Your solar return, it's basically the concept of your birthday. So it's always around, and mine's on my actual birthday this year. So I just wrote down what each one was and the date. And then I have a space here where I can shorthand write the cards. It doesn't matter what position I pulled the cards for. Like, I will journal all of these readings. I always do. That said, this space is not about me journaling. Obviously, it's itty bitty. This space is about me shorthanding it. So, and I'll use the shorthand that I use here. So I'll just write the cards I pulled for each reading. And then here I have my space to write my cards I pull for the year. Just like I've done here. I've pulled a card every single day this year except like a couple, like sometimes there's a couple I miss, but I write it down. So this is the shorthand I will use. And I will be able to, at the end of the year with this space, it won't be in this journal, but with the space at the end of the year, I'll be able to look at and see what patterns there are in the cards I pull. Am I pulling a ton of swords? Am I pulling only cups? That kind of patterns. How many times did I pull the 10 of Wands? You know, I want to be able to see the patterns. If I notice that there's a major arcana card that's really fucking stalking me, I want to be able to work with that card. But I can't do that if I don't notice. So this is part of me helping to notice. And then my last one, which I filled out, is based off of something I did in my Book of Shadows previously. This. I called it the Astrological Months. And what the concept was, I wanted to, based on the astrology of the month, I wanted to be able to do like some reflecting. I'm looking for ways to apply the astrology I learned to my day-to-day life. So I thought, well, each month has kind of an astrology theme. And I did this right around this time last year. So when I did this, I split the page for all the months of the year. I wrote the glyphs where the sun is for the majority of each month. And I wrote a question. What foundational areas do you want to realign and focus on to build? What community truth do I hold that I can spend more time with? What do I believe in that wants a bit more attention? And I loved it, and I never did anything with it. So, and I realized part of the problem I believe I had there is that's not really personalized. That's a good general, but it's not personalized because each zodiac sign is in everyone's chart. Except everyone's zodiac signs correspond with a different area of their life or a different house. And that's where things get really juicy. I found a lot of in my second full year of study of astrology is things get really juicy when you look at the houses. Because the houses tell you specifically where the energy of the zodiac comes up in your day-to-day life. So I made a new astrological months and I based it on my houses. Again, I split it into the seasons because I want to kind of find seasonal themes and these kinds of threads. I want to be able to pull them out. I don't know what I'm going to do with the side here. I'm thinking I might in some way reference my cards of the month, like write the theme of the winter, write my winter theme based on my year ahead spread here. Maybe, don't know. So each, but it's divided into the seasons, so that way I can look at that again. And plus I want to see like, what is my natural autumnal season like? And for me, it's a very home season, right? Because I've got my 4th house of home, roots, and ancestry, my 5th house of children and play, my 6th house of daily routine and wellness and health. What I've written in each box is I've got the month at the top. I've got the glyph on the left-hand side for the zodiac sign. I've got the number in the right-hand corner is where it corresponds to my chart, which house it is. The bottom is I wrote my card of the month from my year ahead spread. So I took these cards, the star, and I wrote it down here. The star, 6 of Pentacles, Judgment, 5 of Wands, Knight of Wands, 3 of Wands, Emperor, Queen of Cups, Empress, 5 of Swords, Temperance, Chariot. And then in the middle, I wrote what the main thing is from each house in my astrology, in my opinion, right? So the 7th house, it's not just marriage, it's one-on-one relating. It's all major relationships that are one-on-one, all major interactions where you're connecting with someone one-on-one. So for January, it's one-on-one relating. For February, it's others' resources. For March, it's spirit and study. Now, what I'm super fucking pumped about is I've decided I'm going to use this for my goal setting. I am the worst goal setter in the world. I don't do it, and when I do it, I don't do the goals ever. So I just freeze, I guess. So what I've decided I want to try doing is, instead of doing a whole big goals, because that's where I really trip up. If I try to sit down and plan, like, these are my goals for my year, my life, it just is like, what? I don't like it. So what I've decided to do is take it monthly. So, and I'm gonna base it off of this. So for me, January, the month of January, the Capricorn month of January, is my 7th house, my house of one-on-one relating. And so I'm going to be naturally more inclined to want to work on the things in that area of one-on-one relating and relationships, partnerships, that kind of stuff. So when I go to set up January, I'm going to look at this and determine what goals what do I want to do in the month of January? What do I want to work on for my one-on-one relating? What 7th house stuff do I want to work on for the month of January? And I'm planning to do a spread in each month for this. And then February, what 8th house stuff do I want to work on in the month of February? What 9th house stuff in March? And so on and so forth. And I'm so fucking excited for this idea. I'm so fucking excited. And then I have this last page, which I don't know what to do with yet. I was thinking goals, but then I did this and I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing goals. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing here yet. Maybe just like some sort of a dedication page. I have no clue. But here's where I plan to start January. And I don't think I'm going to do my January goals on here because I want it to be within the month. But we shall see. And that is my setup. There is nothing in the back. This page will probably get used as a pen test page because it always does. And yeah, that's it. That is my setup for 2022 in my new Witches Bullet Journal, now with extra witchiness. And I'm so fucking stoked. So please let me know in the comments down below. Do you have any new spreads that you're really, really excited about for 2022? And if you haven't set up 2022 yet, is there just any new ideas percolating? I want to hear about what you're excited about. And if you're not excited, I want to hear about that too. I want to hear about what's going on, how you're feeling as we come into a close on 2021. Let me know in that comment section down below. And as always, all the YouTubey stuff, while you're down in that area, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know you liked it and to help out my channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. You can hit the bell notification so you can come back. I recently posted in my community tab what my schedule is for this month, the videos I'm going to be posting, and this is one of them. So stay tuned for all of those. In the boxy box, the description box, you can find the link to my Patreon where you can go and check out and join us on Patreon. All of my patrons we do a couple monthly hangouts depending on the tier, and my patrons get a discounted cost on my readings. All readings they get with me come at a discounted cost, and you know, stuff like that. We have a Facebook group, and so that's there. My Calendly link is there so you can check out the readings I do offer. I am specializing in offering readings based around astrological events. So moon return, solar return, Saturn return, any kind of return you can think of, I can read for it. Full moons, new moons, those kinds of things. These are astrological events, and I do tarot readings around them. And I really love using that kind of magic. And I love it. Anywho, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it and had fun with me, and I will see you again very soon. Lots of love. Bye.